Good morning, everyone. You know the drill. It's Sunday. We're chilling. We got the vibes going on and getting ready for Sunday Funday, and then a little bit of an early studio day and some pizza. I can't believe it. We are going into week 6 at Icon. It's going way too fast already. Yeah, let's get into it. Sunday Funday. Unit 6, the major scale session view. Let's see what we got. All right. Over to the left here, as usual. Ooh, checkpoint. Arrangement review set checkpoint 1. Please use this review set to review components and demonstrate your understanding of the arrangement topics we've covered so far. And then we move on to keys. Woo! This time we are learning about the major scale, very similarly to when we learned about the minor scale. And now we are going to learn about C major, whereas before we learned about A minor, including the major scale formula, and then how to do correct finger placement for the major scale. All right, so we move on to ear training. I don't even know how to say this word, so I'm not even gonna try. Major second, minor third, fourths and fifths, major sixth and seventh, practicing the major scale. Now we move into Ableton, and we are learning how to use the session view. So we're basically learning about importing clips, fun with clip parameters, working with scenes in session view. That's really cool because I don't know much about session view other than when I was practicing for my live performance show. Okay, so lots of Ableton stuff, lots of session view, and then of course assignments at the very end. Yeah, and then we launch into mid-level feedback, which is basically we are halfway through level 1. All right, and that is it for Sunday Funday. Let's all start the week off strong. Let's crush it. Let's set goals. Let's smash them. Let's work hard. Really, really stoked about how things are going. All right, that is it from me in the studio today. We are heading home. We posted a vlog today, so please go take a look at that, and I will talk to you soon. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, week 6. We're in the studio early as usual, and we are going to jump right into Unit 6, as well as we have Mental Health Monday and our mentor session today, which I'm really looking forward to. We got a bunch of questions lined up for them. Let's get to work. All right, you know what time it is. We got the keyboard out. We just finished learning about the major scale, in particular C major. Every single major triad is root +4 +3 semitones. We have our C major keyboard assignment. I didn't practice it yet. We're going to record in and we're going to see how we do. Hopefully we do better than the last time. I don't know if y'all remember that. Two errors right at the end there with the left hand. That's good though. That's huge improvement over last time, if you remember. I could not get the finger positioning right. Yeah, that was really good. Of course, we're going to keep practicing until we get it right. We're going to make a coffee, eat some lunch, and then of course we got our mentor session with Jerry. We didn't vlog much today, so I wanted to jump into Mental Health Mondays. We've got kind of a sensitive topic to talk about today, and that is the topic of grief. Grief is a natural response to loss, and that loss can be big or small. There are many, many different kinds of grief. Grief could be breakup of a romantic relationship, retirement, serious illness, miscarriage, selling your childhood home, the end of a friendship, and of course, the death of a loved one. I think we've all experienced, I know I have, some form of grief. I know for me, friendships coming and going is a part of life, but it's definitely something that really affected me in a way that was difficult to identify. And when I learned a little more about grief after I lost both of my grandmothers, one in particular who played a big part in raising me. Personally, I think it's more of a paradox of when we deny ourselves our feelings, they start to intensify. We have to be brave enough to really let ourselves feel our feelings. That can be difficult in itself. I used to really not know what feeling I was feeling, and then I would get overwhelmed, and then that would come out as anger. I've had to do a lot of work to be able to identify these kinds of feelings. And it just started out with, I don't feel right. I'm uncomfortable. And then it evolved from there. So we all know the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. The thing to keep in mind about this is it's not linear. You don't go through steps 1 to 5 and then you're free of grief. My personal experience with some of the loss I've had is it ebbs and flows with how I'm feeling, how I'm treating myself, my mental health, and certain situations can make some of these things pop back up. And then next thing you know, I'm in the store, it's summertime, I pass by the fruits and vegetables and I see a whole display of cherries, and it immediately triggers me because I used to eat cherries every summer with my grandmother, and I actually had to leave the store because I was tearing up and I had to get back in my car, and I just went home. So rather than gritting my teeth, toughing it out, I thought, this can wait. These are intense feelings. And I gotta take some action about them. I went home, had myself a little cry, and reached out to a friend. So yeah, it's not linear. We feel different feelings at different times. We process things, we almost don't get to process things when we would like them to. The piece of hope to connect with is that you can build tools depending on how intense the feelings are that are coming up. You can process them with a professional and really learn how to take care of yourself as you're going through whatever it is you need to go through. One thing that I've learned through the process is that I shouldn't judge myself or others for how they grieve, how they feel. And for myself, it was allowing myself to actually feel the feelings rather than stuffing them. Experiencing that pain is actually what paradoxically made me stronger and more resilient. So I'm going to leave you with an acronym called TEAR. T stands for to accept the reality of the loss. E stands for experiencing the pain of the loss. For myself and what I've been through, that needs to be with a professional. A stands for adjusting to the new life without the loss. And R, reinvest in the new reality. There's different ways you can do that. Journaling has a lot of therapeutic value in it. I know this is a tricky subject for a lot of people. So if this stirred something up within you, maybe a loss that you haven't acknowledged, please reach out to someone you're close to and talk about it. I'm not an expert in this stuff. I'm just sharing my experiences and what I've done to help myself and some of the tools that I use when I am feeling this way. All right, we are done in the studio for the day. We got on to Unit 6. We got a decent head start at that. We worked on our collaboration with Shelley Harland. It's sounding pretty freaking top notch if you ask me. Feels later than it is. I don't know if y'all can relate with that. I'm gonna head home. I got a yummy shepherd's pie waiting for me there, and I will see you right now. Hello, good morning. It is Tuesday, week 6, and yep, you guessed it. We are in the studio. Today's gonna be a good day. We got therapy at 11, and then we are cruising on with Unit 6. And yeah, yesterday we absolutely had one of the best mentor sessions so far. And I am almost done completely my track with Shelley Harland, and I'm really excited to see what happens with that one. All right, let's eat some breakfast and get to work. Little surprise Apple event. Super stoked to check out what else they got going on.
I'm really excited for today and the news we have to share with you, starting with upgrades to our powerful operating systems, the incredibly capable and affordable Apple Watch SE and Apple Watch Series 6. And for people who want the most out of their iPhone 12 Pro. But there is just one more thing.
Look at that. It's so bright out coming through the window. I don't even need to have my little studio light on. Check it out. A lot of cool stuff going on today. Ableton just launched Live 11 with comping, which if you don't know what comping is, it's basically multiple takes of one thing that the program separates into its own file. Ableton hasn't had that for a long time, so people were kind of just doing makeshift comping or using a totally different program. Also, brand new Mac Mini. Kind of a dusty computer there. And I've been using a Mac Mini for about almost 4 years now. I absolutely love it. I thought there was a third thing, but I am not remembering. Oh yeah, the Canon M50 Mark II is available. A few key upgrades, and that is the live streaming ability. Really looking into that camera just for the simple fact that it has interchangeable lenses depending on what I'm doing. So yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. I'm feeling good. Therapy went really well, and so let's get on with it. Great day in the studio. We worked a ton on Unit 6. I'm going to show you some of the assignments tomorrow. The review's been going well. The lessons have been going well. Right now, we're going to pick up a little tiny piece of gear, but it's going to make a big impact. More about that right about now. All right, it is Wednesday, week 6, and we're in the studio. We just got this new plugin called VOCALIGN, and so we've been applying that to our track with Shelly Harland. And yeah, it's just these minor little adjustments, these minor little things that really clean up the vocal, clean up the track overall. We have made a lot of headway with Unit 6. Let me show you that right now. So we have completely finished our review checkpoint for arrangement. Check that out, 100%. The ear training for the major key, and we still need to do some review. And so the way that it works is it's a continual review, and technically I could stop, but why do that when I can continue learning and getting the information to sink in my brain? So I always go until I get 100%, which is probably reviewing it 6 times-ish. Icon does a really great job of basically making you review it. I wanted to show you one of the assignments that we're working on right now. I'll hear the sounds coming from the computer, and then I'll try to find them on the keyboard just by ear, and then I need to identify what spacing that is, and keep in mind this is just the major scale. That sounds pretty spot on to me. So I found the keys. So now what is the spacing? So we count it out. We got minor second, major second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth. So this should be a perfect fourth. Click perfect fourth, submit. Boom. Nailed it. Let's continue on. All right. Welcome back to another episode of WIP Wednesday with our track, First Things First, which I'm honestly thinking about renaming. I really like the catchiness of First Things First, but this track has this almost heavenly, godly, mythological vibe to it. So we'll narrow it down. We don't like to complicate that kind of thing. Not a huge update overall because we're almost done the track, but I wanted to show you how I used that new plugin, XO, to fill out my percussion. And this is the loop that we got. Love that groove. Just love the pattern. So what I did is I rendered it out. I rendered to waves, and I just dragged the whole MIDI file right here. So I had some of my percussion from before, which sounded like this. That's just stuff I quickly dragged in. I liked it. It got things flowing. It got things moving along quickly. And now with. And with the clap. And now with that super banging acid intro. hear it without it. Sounds kind of plain, right? Throw that back in. Maybe we turn it up just so you can hear it louder in the mix. Yeah, so that filled things up really nicely. I took a while using XO and messed around with all the patterns in here and what things looked like, what the different instruments were doing, as well as the A-B pattern. And I think it's sounding nice and full, and the percussion's providing this really nice groove now. I know it's a small update, but using that new XO software, I was able to somewhat quickly create an entire full drum loop pattern and then just drag and drop that into my track, and it's got this really cool pattern and groove that fits in with the percussion I already had on my track. And that's it for WIP Wednesday. All right, so Unit 6, WIP Wednesday. We are all done in the studio, heading home to eat some dinner. I really need a freaking haircut.